Good morning, we are in Aldinga, I think that's how you say it, Aldinga, and it is just one town over from Port Wollonga, where I ended the last vlog at that beautiful beach with the caves. So we're probably going to just chill around here for the day, probably check out the beach. You can actually, we saw last night, people were actually driving onto the beach and camping on there. First things first, I had to grab some Vegemite. I realised I didn't pack any, and I know that is the most Australian thing ever, but for some reason I just woke up craving Vegemite. I've never done that in my life, but I just woke up and I was like, I need Vegemite. I need Vegemite toast. So I'm gonna have to put bread in the air fryer and see if that toasts it, and have Vegemite toast for brekkie. Let's see how this goes. They're not going brown. They're only just starting to go brown, but they're really crispy. And I didn't want them to get like a brick and we can't eat it. What have you? Alright, I think we're going to risk it for the biscuit and try and go down onto the beach. We've seen heaps of two-wheel drives going on there and other vans. I haven't seen another bus, but sand looks hard, so let's give it a go. We made it. We nearly got bogged. I don't know if you can see, but we didn't. And we are parked on the beach. What a spot. We have just spent the day at Sellicks beach, and I've not really been filming, had my phone away. I just wanted to kind of just soak it all in. It's so beautiful here, and I had a bit of a pinch me moment. I am a massive journaler, and I've just been reading back on all journal entries, and it's just funny how this moment, like right here, I literally wrote about and like visualized. Yeah, it's just kind of surreal that I'm now sitting there and I've brought it into my reality. So I kind of have just been feeling really grateful and just sitting and kind of smiling to myself like a weirdo. But yeah, just reading back on some difficult times, journaling has really helped me. And you know, even through those difficult times, I still dreamt about better days. And now that I'm in better days, like I'm even getting emotional just talking about it. Yeah, it's just surreal. Anyway, I'm gonna put the camera away again and enjoy it. Sausage sangers, an Aussie favourite, to end a beautiful day in paradise. I think the time now is like nearly 6 p.m. and I think the sun sets around 7:30, and I can just imagine how beautiful the sun will look touching the red cliffs. So I'm gonna have to get the camera out for that one, but it's been a beautiful day. Picking these berries, and he said that we could eat them. This one's called
filmed a little bit, but you explain it a lot better. So we've got Matt here, and we saw him picking some berries over here. So we came over and asked what he was doing, and he explained to us about these berries and about the work that he's doing.
Look, one of these seeds, obviously, berries and seeds, and I collect them to propagate them and grow wildlife-friendly backyards. So I've been collecting from a variety of plants through this area. I have permission, I have a permit, so it's all above board. And the idea is to propagate them up and grow wildlife-friendly backyards and sell them to people so that we can improve biodiversity. Because biodiversity across the world is in decline very seriously, and the biggest driver of that is a loss of habitat. So if we look up behind here, we should have had a woody, grassy woodland ecosystem all the way through the hills, and we've built on most of it, and behind this there's grazing paddocks and cropping paddocks and things like that, and that takes away from the resources available to birds and animals and insects. So when their resources are down, they start to decline, and because we've taken away so much, they're really in decline. And what we need to do is replace habitat. It's that simple. So get behind the UN's decade of restoration to establish 300 million hectares, re-establish 300 million hectares across the world to save our biodiversity and make sure that we keep getting food, because our biodiversity pollinates our food. So it's not just for them, it's for us. So let's not focus just on climate change. We need to be replacing the plants and the habitat, particularly the habitat, so that birds and insects and everything continue to provide the ecosystem services that keep us alive.
Well, awesome work that you're doing.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And it's been very interesting to learn about, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So we've just come back into the bus. It got pretty windy and chilly out there, but we just went for a walk to take some shots of the cliffs and the sunset on them. It was really beautiful, but we didn't manage to do that because we ran into a really interesting gentleman called Matt, and he had some pretty interesting things to say about biodiversity loss, and we stopped because he was eating the berries in the bush, like next to the cliffs, and I'm always interested by people doing that, like who know what to eat and what not to eat. So we were just talking to him, and yeah, I thought it was important to kind of film what he wants to spread awareness about, and I loved how he's acting locally in his community. But yeah, I just thought it was a really important topic, and yeah, we chatted to him for a while until the sun set, and we've just come back to the bus, and it was just so beautiful to see the sun setting on the ocean. In Sydney, where I'm from, the sun rises from the ocean, so it just kind of reminded me, well, this whole area reminds me of Europe, like the beautiful cliffs, the beautiful clear water, and then the sun setting. It just felt like I was in Greece or something. But yeah, it's been a perfect day. We're just going to probably wind down now and probably stay here tomorrow. It's just such a nice place. And also we have finally added some fairy lights to our bookshelf, and they add the perfect touch to when we're in bed and watching Netflix. Although who needs to watch Netflix when you have that as the view? So we have just come to a little bay, and the locals told us about it, but it's really, really beautiful here. You've got the red cliffs behind me all around. There's actually little sharks that breed here. They're called port something. I forget the actual name of them, but they're just the real small ones that have got that funny face. They breed here, and the locals also told us that sometimes you can see kangaroos here. We've also seen a lot of those beautiful orange butterflies that have just started blooming, so they're flying around everywhere. Yeah, it's really nice and quiet here, so we're probably just going to spend a few hours chilling here.
Ain't another woman that could take your spotlight. If I wrote you a symphony, just to say how much you mean to me, what would you do? If I told you you were beautiful, would you date me on the regular? Tell me, would you? Well, baby, I've been around the world, but I ain't seen myself another girl like you. This ring here represents my heart, but there's That's one thing I need from you. Say it.
So, got some bad news. Our Fiamma completely snapped off. It was that windy, it just bent the brackets underneath, and we had to take this off because it was just hanging on. It's I don't know, the wind, I don't know, we didn't think it was that bad, and we secured it in with tent guides, put stones there, put mounds. Like, I don't know, it's not, the breeze isn't constant, so we thought we'd be okay. It wasn't like turbulent wind, but this is just not good. This is not good at all. Now we don't have an awning. Oh my gosh. You can see what came flying over our bus. The broken tent, the broken pole. There's another one. There's the ropes. It literally just went whoop, came over the other side of the bus. And I think the bottom, my swimmer bottoms are somewhere around here. Oh my gosh. We're not having good luck with this bus, are we? Oh my god. Oh, here are my swimmer bottoms. God. What makes it worse is that some local was walking past us this morning and was talking to us because he had a coaster as well, and he had the Fiamma awning. And he said, oh no, they're rubbish. Mine broke and completely went flying, and we were just laughing, and we're like, okay, well, we better secure ours down then, and it's not that breezy. Literally, same day, same thing happens. Oh my gosh, I do not recommend Fiamma. Oh my god. You can see like one of the arms has ripped through the awning, and it's completely like bent. And this bit here, where it tells you it's clicked in, has completely snapped off. And like that's an important part. Bloody love this for us. Anyway, we have brought it inside and we have contacted a local caravan repair place. They're going to check it out tomorrow. If they can get the parts, maybe we'll buy them if they're not too expensive. Otherwise, they said if the damage is too bad, you'll have to just get a new one. My thinking is, if other people have had the same issue with these awnings, for some reason I just didn't think it would happen to us because we've been really careful. Do I even want to keep the Fiamma awning, Fiamma, however you say it, or do I just go and get a cheaper one, like a King's awning, like a smaller one that, you know, not the biggest deal if it breaks or whatever. I feel like I'm going to be anxious now if we repair this one or get a new one of the same one. I feel like I'm just going to be anxious every time we put it out. So anyway, keep you posted on that. Good morning, it is a new day and we are in Port Elliot. It's such a pretty beach. I think this is called Horseshoe Bay, one of their main beaches here. It's just like a little beachside town, and we came here because, as you would have seen, our awning broke. It the wind just completely lifted it up, went on over the other side of the bus, and just the retractable arm just completely bent and broke. And so we came to Port Elliot nice and early this morning. It was about 30 minutes away, and saw Rick at South Coast Caravan Centre, which he's based here in Port Elliot. And he basically just gave us some really helpful advice and just said it would be too expensive to repair. Not only was the arm kind of broken and that would need repairing, the casing of the actual awning was all bent. So he just gave us a few options and said probably best to go through insurance. Our insurance company covers awnings, so that's what we're going to do. Because the arm on the awning was broken, we couldn't actually reel it back in, so we had to take the whole awning off, put it in the bus. 4.5 meter awning, so it took up a lot of space, couldn't get to the cupboards. So yeah, thankfully he took it off our hands. We took all the photos, got all the details, put the claim in, and yeah, we're now without an awning, which sucks. Now it just looks like that. Very bare, but what can you do? I don't know what we're going to do, whether we replace it with the same awning, or if we get a different awning, or if we just don't have an awning altogether. We're going to suss out our options, but we've heard some bad things now from others about the Fiamma awnings.
basically just doing the exact same thing, and the Rick at the caravan repair place basically said they're just for sunshade, like any bit of wind is just not good for them. So I read a few reviews like that before we bought it, but I thought if we just, you know, mindful of the wind and we make sure that we peg it down with guy ropes, we'll be sweet, but obviously not. So yeah, we are without an awning, which sucks, but you know what, just got to take it as it comes, and it is what it is, so it's not going to ruin our trip. So we're just going to chill out in Port Elliot and Victor Harbour area for a few days, check this area out before we head further down the peninsula.